Cool, man. So, dude, yeah, fill me in. Where you at right now with the business with Review Harvest?
Yeah, no, so Review Harvest, we got about 140-ish active customers, all review based, and they pay anywhere from 99 to I have some clients still paying like $400. I did some other stuff for them too, but we're at about 18 or 19 or 20 in recurring. But last month we had some annuals and we had some invoices that didn't get paid the month before that got paid last month. So we were over
Yeah.
24 grand last month in
Hell
just
yeah.
Google reviews. Yeah.
Dude, congrats, bro. That's your biggest month?
Yeah, that is my biggest month. So
Nice.
stoked for it. I started doing the agency stuff when I was like in college, and I got to like, or just out of college, and I got to like 18 or 19, and then I was like, this sucks because I was doing a million different things for a million different people. I wasn't very niche or focused service or industry, and so I just like literally just like got rid of a bunch of clients. My Stripe account is like, oh, you're here, and then it's like, pew, and then it's just slowly been back up, and so finally up past where it was before. It took like a year.
Oh wow. So when how old are you now then?
22.
22. And then so that you started your agency, what was that, just a couple years ago then?
Yeah, I and all throughout college, I graduated college when I was like 20. And all throughout college, I just did work for local business owners, like literally almost for
Okay.
free. I think some people paid me like $20 an hour or something, but I just did it for free. And then I had enough connections and enough kind of foot in the door with people where when I graduated college, I just went all in on the agency thing. Um,
Nice.
and it was just just typical stuff. I'm working with whoever will give me a credit card and doing whatever they ask me to do. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then so when you're in college, you got going on this. What made you talk about a little bit about that? Like what made you want to get started in the agency world? Like was it a course or like what was it? YouTube?
yeah, yeah, I was always like the kid in the back of the classroom, like watching YouTube videos on like how to make money online throughout high school. So I did drop shipping, I did affiliate marketing, I did print on demand, I did all that stuff. And so I had a little bit of knowledge in like the online space, kind of very naive still. But then when I got to college, I found High Level through Jason Wardrop, like 2020. It was like the end of 2020, 2021 maybe. And Jason was like, hey, you can make a bunch of money doing this. And like, shout out Jason for just like spreading the word. Like, I know people say stuff about him, but like, he's the reason I found it. And so I found it like
Yeah.
early because of him. And I literally told my wife, my now wife, girlfriend at the time, like as soon as I found High Level, like after I watched like 10 videos on High Level, I was like, I'm gonna be making 20 grand a month, like by the end of the semester. And I was like, so naive and so stupid. I just thought you could just show High Level to business owners and they just, drool and they just pull their credit card out, but not quite how it happened.
You're sold the dream. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome though. That's awesome. What man, I love that. I love seeing the young kids just crush it. Like it's such a great opportunity these days, like this season of life that we're in where you can just get tapped into such a great opportunity. Like there's so much opportunity to make money online. What
Too
were
much.
right? Yeah, yeah, too much. Yeah, that's the other downside. It's just like
Yeah.
information overload, a lot of shiny
Yeah.
objects. So
Oh,
how did you so it sounds like you fell into that, right? You're doing everything for everybody. Like how long
yeah.
did you do that and then what made you decide
Yeah.
to get out of it?
I did that for about a year. I did that for about a
Okay.
year, just like selling any services through High Level ads, ads, automations, websites, whatever, just anything through High Level for a while, about a year. And then I decided to niche down, and I had one photographer that I had set up on my review service, got a bunch of reviews, set him up with some ad stuff, and kind of had some results. And I was like, that's what it is. I can help photographers grow. This is easy. So I'm just going to do photographers. And I did that for about a couple months. And I think that obviously people can make any industry work and you can make any niche work. But for me, like my personality is it's a lot more logical, and like I care a lot less about how things look and more about like the results of it. And like all I talked about with photographers was like how things looked. Like all they cared about. I was like, oh, we need to put a pop-up form on your site so you get a higher conversion rate. And they're like, no, I don't like the way it looks. I'm like, well, you're gonna make more money. And like, I don't care. I hate the way it looks. It's bad for the brand. And so I was like, this is probably not a good like psychographic pair between like them and me.
For sure.
And so, but at the time I was still doing review stuff because I was like, I I was selling Review Harvest, the same stuff we do now, for like $1,500 or $1,000 setup fee, and then like $300 or $400 a month. And my wife, being the genius that she is, she always has better business advice than I think. She's like, why don't you just do the review stuff? Like, people like it, it works, it's simple. And I was like, no, Carly, that's not, like, I'm not going to do that. Like, Carly, that's not. And then she kept on, and I was like, all right. So I rebranded, got rid of all my clients kind of periodically based off of who was the biggest headache and paying the least amount of money. And then like, so I went from like 18 or 19 grand a month to like 5 grand a month within like 2 or 3 months.
Mm,
So that sucked. But then
yeah.
I just slowly started building it back up with Review Harvest. I rebranded to Review Harvest, and just kind of like honed in my snapshot, my onboarding, made it simple and as smooth as possible. And then I was like, just got to get the word out there. So
Yeah. Hell yeah. So there's a lot we can dive into, but I'm curious, like that transition, right? Going from 18 to like 5, what were some of the struggles? Like, what were some of the fears that were like swirling around? And then, like, how did you
yeah,
make the decision? I know your wife was a catalyst of like, dude, you just got to go
yeah.
all in on this thing. But tell me a little more about
Yeah.
what was that like for you?
Yeah. Well, really, a couple things is like I always know I want to get to that, glorious 100K month. I always know that's kind of been my goal since college, like 100K months by the end of 2027. That's always been my goal. And I just like was looking at my current agency and I was like, this is this is not going to get there. Like this is not going to get there. And even if I do get there with this, it's going to be bloated. It's not going to be very profitable because I'm going to have to bring on people that know how to do this stuff for me. And you can't bring on experts for websites, Google Ads, SEO, Facebook, content, like all on when you have a little $18,000 per month agency. At least people that can do it well, right? And so I knew I needed to focus. I just didn't really know what it was. And so then I had enough success with the Google reviews. So I was like, yeah, I'll just go all in on this. I could see getting to 100K with Google reviews, which
Mm,
there's still some doubts there. We can talk about that later. But
yeah.
anyway, yeah, so I just kind of did that. And like one thing that I guess is nice for me is I've always been very frugal and I've always been a saver. Like I started working when I was like 12 or 13 doing odd jobs and pet sitting. And I always would just like give the money. I was like, Dad, here's all my money. And I just like go invest it, put it in a savings account somewhere where I can never see it. And so between that and like, I was lucky enough to get like a full ride to college and stuff. So we had a decent nest egg where I was like, we're good. Like I knew that we could live, but based on how frugal we were and how much money we had saved up, I knew we could live for a couple of years but don't make any money at all. And so that kind of is what
Nice.
allowed me to take that drop, and like weather the storm. But I probably never worked harder than that. I probably
Yeah.
will work harder eventually, but that was like waking up every morning 4:30 a.m. Like I gotta make this work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that's cool though. So you had a little bit of a safety net there that enabled you to take more risk. Yeah, that's one of the benefits of being young, man. You can take more
Yeah.
risks
Yeah.
and you don't have a ton to lose. But it
Yeah.
sounds like you've always been a driven kind of guy though. Like you've always had that goal of like, dude, I'm just gonna by 2027, you're gonna hit 100K a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah. Yeah, I have always been very frugal and stressed about money. Like money just stresses me out, and I saw how it stressed my parents
Yeah.
out too, and it stresses out
Mm,
a lot of people. Like half the reason people get divorced is because of financial stuff. That's what like I think that's what it is. And so I was
yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was kind of well, maybe if I just figure out this money thing, then I think life would get a lot easier. And so I was like, all right, I figure out this money thing, and then there's all like the stuff of like, well, I'm a big Christian and very religious, and so I still have to balance that kind of with like, well, gotta give, gotta serve, gotta don't start. You can't serve two idols. Don't idolize the money, but the money does
Mm,
open up my calendar and mind to be a little bit less stressed.
yeah. Dude, right? Yeah, I'm a believer as well. So that's like obviously that's huge, having the core value of faith and walking that path. And the
Yeah.
downside is like the hyper religious side. I believe, man, religion is like probably one of the like the religious spirit, like in the negative connotation, I would say is like
Mm.
one of the top reasons like Christians are broke
Yeah.
is because of the belief systems. They let it like seep into their beliefs, and it's like our
Yeah.
beliefs control our life, right? Control how
Yeah.
we see the
Yeah.
world, how we judge other rich people. Like, oh, they must be so
Yeah.
greedy. They must be so.
Yeah.
The only way they have that is because they did something wrong, or it's an idol to them. And then you
Yeah.
get those scriptures like, the love of money is the root of all evil. It's
Yeah.
like a lot of these misinterpretations. That's why I like people. I don't know if you heard of Myron Golden. Have you heard of that guy, Myron Golden? He's a
I've heard of that
YouTuber. Yeah, he's
name.
good at breaking some of those beliefs. But anyway, man, yeah, I just think it's so important for Christians to like take note of that, really identify if they have that, because I know if I did for a long time as well, where it's just like made me feel guilty for wanting to be rich,
Yeah.
right? Like having that desire
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
wealthy, like somehow was I'm selfish, or somehow I'm just I'm not as spiritual, or I'm not as holy as all these other cool Christians.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard.
So
It's hard because like obviously I think that money makes great people better and it makes bad people worse, because you just have more to you kind of have a little bit more power and stuff with it. And so it's just like making sure you're always checking your
yeah,
intentions. And I think an important thing and it's something my wife and I do our best at is to give along the way, just like always give, whether
yeah,
it's with time or money or both. And I think that because I could die tomorrow, obviously, and me just chasing this and not giving any back is just kind of a waste. And so,
yeah,
still balancing that with like, this is what I've been given. I'm just a steward of, it's not, and like my talents, my business, whatever, I'm just a steward of it. It's not mine. I don't deserve it. I don't anything. It's just here for now. And so just doing my
yeah,
best with this. Cause obviously, the Bible says you're supposed to take care of your family as well, and so,
yeah,
it's a dichotomy to be managed, I guess.
yeah. One of the main things I love about that is, and that's huge, man. I'm glad you have that core value of generosity. I was just actually fleshing out the core values of my community and like putting it
Hmm.
into a code. I'm like, dude,
Hmm.
generosity is everything. Like, I was just reading through Proverbs, and it's just all throughout the Bible, obviously, of like the generous man will prosper, given it shall be given unto
Yeah.
you. Like
Yeah.
it's just all throughout there. It's more blessed to give than receive. It's like we've all felt that
Yeah.
too. Like to be able to help somebody deeply and transform their life, like that feeling
Yeah.
is just like special, dude. Like you can't get that from getting gain. You can't get that from like making a lot of money, but you can get that from
Yeah.
like having impact,
Yeah.
like impacting it
Yeah.
through generosity. And like that's something we've always strived to live by as well. And I think that keeps you safe in the so you don't enter into the greed land.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so then was you decided to stay broad as well. Tell me a little bit about that, because I know niching's like a big
Yeah.
thing for people they get caught up on.
Yeah. No. Well, I decided to stay broad for now. Really because we're so niched in our delivery. Our delivery is the same thing every time. And so the only things that really change based off the niche um, is really the systems that we're integrating in. And so while we are broad, there definitely are niches that we can serve a lot better because some niches, because when you look at the review space, like when you look at getting people Google reviews, there's there is this kind of balance between there are some very high volume businesses that are lower ticket. So let's say a dryer vent cleaning company, for example, or a bike rental company. They might serve 100, 200, 300 customers a month at $100 a person, right? Whereas,
Mm,
a home remodeler might do what, 4 or 5 jobs a month, maybe, but they're going to be a lot higher
mm,
ticket. And so to the home remodeler, those reviews are going to be a lot more valuable because everyone else in their industry is dealing with the lower volume, right? Reviews are more
yep,
valuable
yep,
because everybody else has less reviews. And so if they got 50 or 60, they're probably crushing their competitors. But at the same time, the automation component of actually automating the review requests is a lot less valuable because they can just manually text their people. Like they got 5 of them, right? Whereas if I'm working with a bike rental company or a driver company that's serving hundreds of people a month, like they don't want to text and email and respond to all those reviews and repost all those reviews. And so, but it's a lot lower ticket. So sometimes they have lower margins. And so, there are industries we definitely serve best. We serve a lot of home service industries. We serve a lot of like the tourism vacation market. So vacation rental companies, boat rentals. That's where, where I am down here near Destin. It's like, it's a lot of vacation rentals, a lot of boat rentals, a lot of
Yeah.
golf cart rentals, a lot of bike rentals, and we serve those companies fairly well due to the fact that they almost always have a solid booking system that we can integrate with. Because the home remodeler might still be doing everything on pen and paper, and if they're doing everything on pen and paper, then working with Review Harvest, they're going to have to change their behavior. And anytime any of our
Mm.
clients have to change their behavior, doesn't mean that we can't make it work and we can't get them reviews. It just means that our service can be less valuable, less sticky. They're not going to stay as long. Whereas if we have a solid integration into their CRM and their booking system through Zapier, and we can send that into Review Harvest or high level, they're going to stay a lot longer, and we're going to get them a lot more reviews.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so the fact that I mean you can stay broad, but you're niching around your delivery, so it's still niched in a sense. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
don't have to be niched around an industry because the purpose of niching is just for scalability, right? Repeatability, being able to have as simple as possible of a business model so that you're not
yeah,
having to do what you did in the beginning, which is everything for everybody, which is a nightmare.
yeah,
But at the same time, it helped you realize what you like. It helped you stumble upon what you
yeah,
wanted to do, right? So sometimes it's a necessary evil, especially when you're just getting
yeah,
started. Right? You got to figure shit
yeah,
out. Um,
yeah,
but then, and then, so now you're kind of in the process of realizing like your dream client, right? Like higher volume. So you're starting to get more clear on that. Is that kind of just like
yeah.
recently that's been going on, or?
Yeah, I think that for us, we do know industries that we serve the best. That like for example,
Mm,
anybody that uses like Jobber or Workies or Fair Harbor, like those are CRMs that we integrate with very well, and they're normally higher volume clients that we can get great results for. Um, but
mm,
at the same time, I'm dealing with right now one thing that we do really that I do really poorly is upselling. Like we don't do any upselling just for the sake of like simple operations and like focus. We haven't really upsold our clients into anything. We don't offer anything besides reviews. And so that's one thing where that I think that pushes the bottleneck forward to gaining that trust and getting people through the door. Because like, and I could be wrong with this, and I mentioned this earlier about like getting 100K with Google reviews through high level, but a lot of these other software companies that sell reviews, Bird Eye, Podium, Nice Job, sell review services, they're able to go to the biggest CRMs in whatever industry, and they're able to create a custom integration. And then I don't know, they probably do some sort of rev share, affiliate share for anybody that sends their way, and then they can just like get clients. With they got 100,000 users in that CRM, they go to the app marketplace, boom, they say, oh, this looks good, sign up, and they're able to just acquire customers and get them onboarded. Where with us, our onboarding process is still pretty hands on because we don't have just a little integration section besides QuickBooks. We don't have an integration section where they can just go and connect, um,
right.
and so figuring out how to just acquire customers at scale is continuing to be the bottleneck and the struggle because that I'm struggling to figure out. Like my first 150, 160 people we've signed up, it's been pretty scrappy. It's been pretty.
Yeah.
It's not. We've run ads. We've done like referrals is mainly how we grow, and like Facebook groups. Getting in those and like getting people to post their results in Facebook groups has been helpful, but still have yet to find that consistent, scalable way to profitably acquire customers. So working
Yeah.
on that.
Because, yeah. No, those are, I think that's part of the iteration process, man, right? Business is just a continual process of iterating and testing things, finding out what works, finding out what doesn't work. And I think the faster we can do that, like in my past, like I would get too hung up on like making changes or pivots. But if I look back, I'm like, yeah, man, if I could have just sped that up, like I'd be further
Yeah,
along and just a lot less
yeah,
stressed as well. Cause like the expectation is like, oh no, this is abnormal to have all these changes. Like, no, that's normal. That's really normal.
yeah, yeah,
That's a part of the
yeah,
process, man. So
yeah, for
what,
sure. Well, and
what,
well, I was gonna
oh,
say
go ahead.
even like I was just gonna say, even like sometimes stepping back, like I know when I've run Facebook ads in the past, sometimes stepping back and being like, this is not ideal, like this is not perfect. this isn't where I want it to be, but let's just create some room just to transact. Like, let's just like, it's still something, right? And because
Yeah.
I went through phases where I would just like turn the ads off completely. I'm like, this is not working out. I mean, I'm booking 20, 30 calls a week, but they're low quality. They're not showing up. They're crazy business centers. It's a waste of my time because this is like all I do all week. I just wake up and get a little bit of work done for the first 3 hours of the day, and then I'm just on calls. And there's no time for me to grow the business. But then when I look back at those times, I'm like, growth is still taking place. And so even when I like wanted to change everything, I'd be like, just leave the ads on, continue to transact, and yeah, be a little bit more strategic with like just stopping and starting and changing all the stuff all at once, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like instead of shutting the whole thing down, there's ways to kind of optimize the process. At least you're growing, at least you're making sales, even though it's not
Yeah.
optimal, like dealing with that high volume of calls and it's just a bunch of crazy people you talk to.
Yeah.
It just kills the vibe too, bro. It just kills the energy, man, which is
100%
tough.
takes the life out of the room.
Yeah, yeah. And I used to, that's what we did. We were spending close to 8 to 10 grand a month, focusing on dentists,
Mhm.
paid ads, Facebook, but it was just like direct book a call funnel without any friction, which is
Yeah.
fine if you're just getting started, but you need some more friction in the sales process, like a VSL, like even just adding a VSL, like saved me so much energy. Like people already know now what to expect, what's the
Yeah.
system, a little bit of who I am,
Yeah.
which really just greased up the whole process.
Yeah.
That really changed my life for sure. Just the way I did business, and I didn't have as high as volume of booked calls, but the calls were
Yeah.
better quality.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a process of like learning paid ads. In the beginning, it's fine to just do straight book a call just to get reps,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
you can really refine it a little bit more, add in some friction, VSLs, more content marketing. I think all of that stuff has really helped. So are you guys still running ads or no? Not right now.
Right now, we're not. I'm trying. While I'm setting up this like affiliate, while I'm setting up my YouTube video and setting up a school community and setting up like some training on to show people how I do what I do, I've turned the ads off and I've really been heavily focused on referrals. And so working on like a new referral process to incentivize our clients to post in Facebook communities or places where their other business centers gather their results.
Mm,
Because so for us, it's like we're not an agency, right? We're not selling anything from $800, $2,000 a month. That's not what we're doing. And so when we're doing like
yeah.
20, 30 calls, and then we're chasing them because they're no shows, and then they're like, maybe I'll think about it or whatever, all this stuff. It's like, okay, we're chasing a $99 client right now. Is this really the best use of our time, right? And so, and also, and it's one of those things like I don't know. I still don't know because it's like, well, the lifetime value of my client right now is like $1,200, and it continues to go up because our churn's so low. And so like, well, I'm not chasing a $99 client. I'm chasing a $1,200 client. And so it's like you think about it a little bit differently, but still, I'm like, our best clients come to us ready to show up. And there's some tweaks that we've made just like remove friction. Like I think I posted this in the Facebook group. This has been a big unlock for me in like the last month and a half. Was like I used to hop on sales calls and try for 30 minutes. I'd try and go through the sales process, try and convince them just to get a card on file to start the trial. And instead, what I started doing was like 5 minutes learning about their business. Can we help them out? If I think we can help them out, I give them like a 3 minute pitch. Here's what we do, whatever. And then I'm like, you got 20 minutes to get set up. I don't ask them for a card. I don't ask them for anything. Then we take 20, 30 minutes to set up their account, get them onboarded. Then at the end of the onboarding call, once they already are like, know me, they have a little bit more rapport. They're like, okay, this has been pretty smooth. They have a little bit of a sunken cost fallacy because they've already spent like 30, 40 minutes setting it up with me. I'm like, okay, so we need to go ahead and get that card on file. We're just going to rebill for text and email expenses. If you want to cancel, before the 14-day trial, you can. If you want your money back after 30 days, you can have it. If this sucks and you want me to give you the text and email expenses back, I'll give you that too. But just by doing that, we've upped our close rate, and we haven't had anybody go through the onboarding process with us and then not give us the card. And so
Come
that's been
on.
nice to like kind of delete some of that friction
Yeah.
in between. Because I mean, it took us from having 2 calls and having a lower close rate and onboard rate to now having 1 call and a higher close rate. and they're onboarded.
Nice. Yeah, I was
And
gonna ask. That's,
we
that's
can
just one call.
yeah, and so now we can get them reviews within, like, if all things considered, if I mean everything's good, they give us all the stuff we need. Like we can get them reviews within a couple hours from talking with us, and so creating
Nice.
like some people that are super stoked.
Dude, that's huge, bro. Yeah, that's huge. That sunk cost there, they already invested all that time to get set up. Save the credit card for
Yeah,
the end of the conversation. Smart
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. It only
Smart
took
man.
me a
So
year to think about that.
those little things, right? Those little things
Yeah,
you got to learn
it
from it.
really is.
It's experience. So you guys, so you're focusing on referrals, kind of creating like an affiliate type of program. Then is that, or just
Yeah,
more
I
like a
mean, we
referral
do.
incentive?
Yeah, it's pretty organic. We don't have any crazy tracking in for like the Facebook posts and stuff. Like I'm still
Sure.
on all the calls. So I do a really good job of asking like, where'd you find us? And if they're like in a Facebook post, I'm like, Facebook group, based off of when they booked the call, I can normally tell who posted recently. And so I can normally track it back to them manually. And we give our clients that send people our way a free month. And so it makes it a little bit easier. Don't have to worry about affiliate commissions and stuff. But honestly, think
Oh,
like
okay.
the referrals, the I think it might be better for the actual person making the post and for us just to pay them up front for the post. It's like, hey, you don't even have to send people our way. Create a video testimonial, create a before and after, put it in the Facebook group. We'll give you 100, 150 bucks right away. And that way,
Yeah.
like, because if they're on one of our plans and they only get one person to sign up, then that's the same price pretty much. But I had somebody like the big reason why I started doing this because I had two people post in a Facebook group a couple weeks ago, and I had like 7 of those people card on file, sign up, book the onboarding call overnight. And I was like, whoa, like that was whatever that was, we need more of that because like to get 7 people's card on file and onboarding calls booked, that used to take a whole week of calls or take 2 weeks of calls and
Yeah.
$2,000 ad spend to get them through the door. And so I was like, whatever that was, we need to keep doing that. They trust me better. They're better fit clients because I know that Facebook group is a qualified group that they're with decent business owners and industries we can help.
Yeah.
And so figuring out how to get more of that is kind of what I'm working on.
Oh, that's huge, bro. So that's huge. So you have, so that was a client that just posted a video in a group, in a Facebook group.
Yeah, they didn't even post a video actually. They just posted a screenshot of their Google Business profile and were like, Review Harvest
Oh,
got us 100 reviews, like 120 reviews in the last like couple of months. Like if you're not on them, what are you doing? And people like went crazy.
dang. Yeah, dude. Right. That sounds like a huge opportunity to go all in on getting your clients in various industries and different Facebook groups. And I like too just paying them so that it's not tied to results. I mean, that's smart. It's better than paying ad spend if they can get you this kind of booked calls.
Literally. Like, I mean, well, and
Yeah.
like they're higher quality calls. They trust me more because it's through a referral and it's cheaper
Yeah.
than ads. And I would honestly much rather give money to my clients than to Daddy Zuckerberg. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
brainer.
Dude, that's smart, bro. You gotta let me know how that goes.
I
So that's
will.
kind of
I
like the
will.
main thing. That's like your main client acquisition thing. You're trying to figure out how to scale a little bit right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now. Yeah.
Makes sense. Nice, man. And then your pricing. What's your pricing like again? Do you still have like a setup fee, or is it just like the free 14-day trial? Or
Yeah. Free 14-day trial and anywhere from 99 to 279 a month, just depending on customer volume, how many review requests they need to send out.
okay, nice,
Yeah.
nice. That's awesome.
It's
Clean
it's
then. So
simple.
so you
I probably could charge more. I probably could charge a setup fee, but at this point, I've just kind of been like, just get people on board, get more results. Because like something that continues to be affirmed for me is like the more clients I get, the easier it becomes to get clients. Because people talk, people leave reviews. I have more social proof. The word just gets out there. And so right now, it's like it'd be a little bit foolish for me to try like maximize for profit and like charge a setup fee and stuff when I know if I just get the more people I get on, I'm just gonna have more and more people coming. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's working, man. I mean, you're at 18K recurring revenue, right? And
yeah,
your churn. Do you know like your exact churn percentage right now, or is it something you're working
yeah.
on getting those numbers?
My Stripe churn percentage is, I feel like it's not very accurate because like I go and create an affiliate program and then like I sign up and then I cancel it or like somebody
Yeah,
double signs up and I have to cancel one. I'm like, this doesn't seem legit. But like all I do know is that we have about like 1 to 3 people cancel a month. So like 3 is like a bad month, 1's like a normal
Yeah.
month. I have months where we still have like nobody cancel, but never have not gone down at all in the year. Like we've always added a lot
Yeah.
more than we've lost, and so it's
That's
I
huge,
don't know
bro.
exactly what it is, but it's pretty low.
It's awesome. So what's the goal now with the review harvest? Do you feel like is the next revenue goal that you're
Yeah,
targeting there?
I mean, getting to 50, I guess, would be the next step. Like, I mean, but so what I was talking about earlier is like, I think I something I hear a lot from other people like Elon or Alex Ramosi or whatever is that it's easier to provide a lot of value to a small group of people than it is to provide a little bit of value to a large group of people. And that's something that I kind of see because when we onboard somebody, we basically get everything that we need to do almost anything. Like we could do their email marketing, we could do their text message marketing, we could do their Google business profile, we could do SEO. Well, we need to get access to their site. We don't normally do that, but we could do so much more stuff with the stuff we're already given. And since our biggest bottleneck is just like getting people in the door and getting them to trust us, I'm like, it would make more sense to upsell. But then I think like obviously
Mhm.
niching is very valuable for the deliverable for like delivering the same thing over and over, like niching your service, but also like niching industry is very valuable for like positioning and pricing, right? Like if I tell you I only serve your type of client and I only do this over and over again, like you can obviously charge a lot more than like Jerry the generalist who does anything for anybody. And so that's something I'm battling with right now. I'm like, should I scale
Yeah.
review harvest in one direction in one industry and then have upsells very particular to that industry so I can provide more value? Or should I just be like, no, I'm just going to tack on like automations, chat widget, Google Business Profile Management, a little bit of SEO, maybe some UpHex in there, and just like make it still kind of general and just have upsells to make Review Harvest still the brand but more profitable. So I don't know. You have any
Yeah.
feedback on that? I don't know where the best way to go is.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a good place to be, man. I think asking yourself the holistic questions of how will this impact my lifestyle? One, how much am I willing to sacrifice in the short term,
Yeah,
like to add in complexity? Because right now you
yeah,
have a very simple model, right?
yeah,
Very simple model, so that's huge, and you can continue to grow it the way it is without even adding upsells, right? Because I like how Hormozy talks about that as well. Of like, there's only a few ways to grow your business, get more customers,
yeah,
or like make them more valuable, retain them
yeah.
longer, right? So you're considering like upselling, right? That's one of the things on your plate then of like, should I add in these different upsell packages?
Yeah. The reason why I haven't added any upsells right now is just because we are so broad. I mean, I there are a couple services that I could add on that wouldn't add additional complexity. It would add additional complexity to the business, but it wouldn't be different per client, right? Like there's some things that I could just add that would be the same for each client. We'd just be changing out names and locations and logos. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but but like the real higher ticket stuff, like if I was going to get into ads or SEO or stuff like that, probably pretty beneficial to niche down. And so, yeah, man, I don't know. It's like because like White Spark has the model of like charging, like doing SEO, and they're broad, they're general, but they've got a big media base, massive website, and lots of people that know them. And there's other stuff like Google Business Profile Gorilla or GMB Gorilla, like they just do Google Business Profile Management for people, which Google Business Profile Management, like it's helpful, but like it's really the website citations, backlinks, reviews that actually make the business grow. Like you need to have your Google Business Profile set up properly, but in terms of ongoing management, it's not super valuable
Yeah,
to the client. And
yeah.
so I don't know.
So then it's just like, how, we all have a limited amount of energy. So like, how much energy would it cost to get you to 50K just doing what you're doing, 50K a month,
Yeah,
compared to
yeah,
trying to do it through upsells and adding new things in? So it's like we're trying to lean into where the momentum is and just double down on that. I think that's
yeah,
usually a good indicator.
yeah.
And
No, that makes sense.
niching's really valuable. Like you said, there's that aspect of niching where it increases the perceived value, which helps for
Yeah,
new which helps in advertising, but it's like if you already have the client base that trusts you, I mean, you can sell them whatever now, like whatever you
Yeah.
want.
And that is something that we do see a lot. Like I'd say probably 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 of our clients say, "What else do y'all do?" Which is a good place to
Mm,
be and a good feeling to be like, "Oh, we don't do anything right now." It's like, but it's a good question to ask because
yeah,
it's so crazy. Like just where marketing companies to local business owners probably have the lowest trust they've ever had right now. Like, nobody really, everybody's been burned. All these local business owners have been burned. And
yeah,
so when I tell them, hey, I'm going to get you more views, and then within the next couple of days, they're getting more views, they're like, I love you. They're like, what else do you do? This is awesome.
yeah,
Because they're just like, he said he's going to do something and then he did it. So like, if he says he's going to get me more leads with SEO or more leads with ads, then he's probably going to do that too. So yeah, I think you're right there. I definitely could add. And I honestly think like the quickest way to get to 50K would be to add upsells because I've got 140 people that trust me right now, and they're still paying me every month. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do this for 400 extra bucks a month, whatever, and I could like double my business. But yeah, I just worry
yeah,
about the operational complexity. But I'm sure I can figure it out.
yeah, yeah, man. I love it. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, just to do the math on it of like, all right, if I'm going to charge this new service $400, how many of my clients would I have to upsell? And then
Yeah,
who else would you have to hire? Because right now it's just you and a VA. Yeah,
yeah,
nice. Yeah, you can't beat that. That's definitely the lean team right
yeah,
there.
yeah. And the great thing is like it takes him like an hour to onboard people, maybe less sometimes. And so most of the days I'm like most of the days he onboards like 1 or 2 people and then he's like, what do you want me to do now? I'm like, I don't know, send cold emails. I don't know. And so he's got lots of capacity and he's pretty good. Like I give him I purchase like courses for him so he can like keep learning about high level or SEO or whatever, just so he
Nice.
can know more, whether he's working for me or not. He can go
Yeah,
be
heck yeah.
a pretty valuable asset on the team. But he knows a lot already, and so he would be he would be able to handle some additional stuff right now.
Yeah. He's in the Philippines or is he US?
Yeah, he's in the Philippines. He's actually in the hospital right now. He's been in the hospital for like 4 days, so be praying for him.
Oof.
He's got mumps or something, and he's having to get a biopsy to make
Ah,
sure it doesn't have cancer. So
that's
keep him in
rough.
your thoughts. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
tough
heck
for
yeah,
sure.
man. Yeah, I've had VAs for 5 years, the same two for like 5 years, and it's like the family from across the world. They're
Yeah,
faithful. They work hard. They're awesome. I'm
yeah,
half Filipino,
and
but
yeah.
as well, so I
Okay,
relate.
yeah, awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
that connection. Well, and also I
yeah.
think just like for anybody listening that's heard people like poo poo on VAs, I think people that poo poo on VAs like they don't treat them like people and employees. Like just treat them like you would somebody's coming to office every day. Like one thing that King and I do every day that like I love, he loves. It's helped us develop like a friendship and I think just trust for one another. Is like every day we play like the New York Times connections together. It takes 5 minutes, like, but we love it and he loves it. It's one of his favorite parts of his day, and so every day we just get on, we play connections. It takes 5-10 minutes, and it's just like something we look forward to. And we post it in our Slack thread, and we see how we're doing, and we do it together. And then like we have like the song
What
of the
is it?
day. So I'm like, hey, what do what
What is it? Is
connections?
it a game?
Yeah,
What is that?
yeah. It's just look up like New York Times connections. It's like similar to Wordle, but it's more like of a matching game. I'm not a big like letter guy, and so it's more
Sure.
fun for me. You have to find like the commonalities between words. It's pretty hard, but it's fun. And then like we also have a thread that's like for song of the day. So I'm like, what are you listening to? So we
Oh,
post like what we're
nice.
listening to, just to keep it fun. Like
Like,
and actually treat them like a real person and an employee because they're. And then
come
he's
on.
great. I love.
Speak my language, man. Those are the core values I just strive to live by too. Like, if it ain't fun, man, like business should be fun. It should be, somewhat of an adventure. It doesn't have to be this serious grind all the time. So
Yeah.
you're doing it, man. Good job, bro. That's awesome. What would you say, like, as far as, because people that listen to me, like, I kind of shifted my audience where, like, I coach and consult and I help agency owners, yeah, but also like coaches and consultants really
Mhm.
turn their passion into profit. Um, so I kind of broadened out who I serve and just really going
Mhm.
through a process of like further aligning with with who I want to help in this world, because that's what matters. Is like, where do you find fulfillment? What problems do you want to solve? All that stuff. Anyway, this particular conversation is obviously people that are wanting to sell high level will get a ton of value, and really anybody will get value. But what made you decide to, or what would you say to people that are starting out with high level? Why choose like Google reviews over any of the other features to focus on? Or if starting over, would you choose something different?
Yeah, no, it's something I've been thinking a lot about right now because I am making YouTube videos like about what I do and helping people get started with high level. Um, and so honestly, I don't know if I would tell them to do Google reviews. I think that if you know about Google reviews, if you know what Google reviews are and you're already comfortable on high level, I think it's a very safe bet. Like you can do that. It's valuable. It's sticky. They stay. But if you're like just starting into high level and you don't have a lot of tech experience, like the biggest thing that makes our business valuable is like we understand how to use high level. We can implement new clients quickly and we can integrate their systems via Zapier or Make or Pabbly or whatever. And so it does get a little technical at times. Like I don't know how to code or anything, but I know like enough to like configure a webhook and like send stuff in there, which just takes time. And anybody can learn it if they're willing to watch enough YouTube videos. Like that's where I learned all of it. But honestly, like
Yeah.
somebody starting in high level, I would recommend like focusing on one feature and then don't niche down. Like focus on one feature and just go sell it to your contacts in your phone. Ask them, hey, do you know any business owners? And also like your local community. Like that's where I got started, just like sitting down with people at coffee shops. Because the biggest hurdle, like we talked about already, like the biggest hurdle is just that trust component of it, and like trust in actually that you're gonna like get them results. And so like the get them results thing is like focused on one thing. Like if you sell one thing in high level, whether it's reviews, whether it's chat bots, like website widgets, whether it's websites, whatever it is, if you focus on it, you can do a good job with it. And so once you like focus on that and then you sit down with local people and do it for free in the beginning, get that trust, do it for free so you don't even have to sell them. They don't care. And then just do that like 10 or 15 times with different clients for free, get some reviews, get some referrals, get some video testimonials, and then let it transition from there, and then worry about a website and all this stuff. I feel like a lot of people like they get high level and they spend like a week or two building out like their marketing website. I'm like, dude, nobody cares. No one's gonna look at it. Go get
Yeah.
reviews and people that trust you, and go get your foot in the door somewhere, and then worry about all that stuff. But honestly, I do see a lot of opportunity with websites. One thing
Yeah.
that I've been working on is a custom value website builder. So it's like they book a call, they put in a little bit of information about their business, and then when they show up to the call, they have a website built out. And it's like with AI, with custom values and high level, with snapshots and stuff, like you can make that happen. I'm just working on building it and making sure it looks good. But I see a lot of value in like building somebody a website and like with high level, you can do it quickly. And if you can figure out how to build a website in like 30 minutes, then just doing it for people and then showing them, say, hey, I built a website for you. You interested? And then get them on either that you can give them a big incentive to pay up front and then charge like a $50 hosting fee or something, or just get them to pay like 99 bucks a month for 2 years or 3 years or whatever you want to charge. And then you have their website, and the website's like the cornerstone of a digital presence for a local business. And so now you kind of have the keys to the kingdom to now upsell SEO, upsell reviews when you kind of understand that stuff. And so I'm thinking about websites. It's like a foot in the door service because it requires information. It doesn't require connection. Reviews require connection. Like if you tell a local business owner, hey, I need to get access to your Google business profile, your social media to repost the reviews, and your CRM, they're like, I don't like what? Like you need to hop on a Zoom call for that.
Yeah.
Or you gotta send them a little video that's really detailed and they're probably still not gonna be able to figure it out. But for a website, if they have a Facebook page, you can honestly just grab all that stuff from their Facebook page. And if they don't, you can be like, hey, can you just send me like your like a little bit about your business and like your logo? And then you can create a website and it requires no connection. You can provide free value quickly and then you can charge for it.
Nice.
And it's there, it's
That's
tangible. They
awesome.
can already see it. So it's a little bit easier to sell. When I say how I'm going to get you reviews, they've got to trust me that get you reviews. But if you show them the website, you're sitting down scrolling through their new website. They're like, it's not, you're selling a
Yeah.
product. It's not if and whether you're going to do it or not. It's like, this is what it is. Here, do you want it or not? So it's easier to sell, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plenty of opportunity for people that that love this digital marketing type of space and want to make money from it. What
Yeah.
made you decide to get into the digital marketing space in terms of making money compared to like all the other niches, right? Of like helping people with their health or their relationship, like all of those different categories. I'm just curious what that
Yeah.
was for you that aligns with your passion and like, you know.
Yeah. I honestly don't know. I mean, I think that I remember when I was 16, I helped a local business owner run Facebook ads. They owned like a local clothing brand. I helped them run Facebook ad and like post on their Instagram and run a giveaway. And I literally was like, I'm never going to do this again. This was awful. This is the worst thing I've ever done. Like, this is like, I hated this. And then, uh, and then just kind of one thing led to the next. And I still watched a bunch of YouTube videos about SMMA and make money with high level, all this stuff. And I think what happened was I just trying to think what my first big win was, but my first big client was a client that I had worked for in high school, and so it was like an easy sell. My degree was like in marketing in school, not that I learned
Mm.
anything, but so I was kind of already always focused on that, and I've always loved business. I always just loved business and always been an entrepreneur. So I was like, well, what's one skill I can learn that would translate to anything else I do, right? So if I can learn how to market a business, like I'll be good. I can figure out how to do all the other stuff eventually. But marketing is pretty important, marketing and sales. And so that's when I got my first client and I launched a review reactivation campaign for them about probably 5 or 6 months after them being a client because I was doing some other stuff, and they got like crazy results and they were like blown away. And I think it just kind of reinforced like, oh, I know how to do something that it's valuable to people and they like, and they're willing to pay me for it. I was like, oh, that feels good. And then just like do it again, and like, oh, that felt really good. Do it again and again and again, and eventually, like,
Come on.
I don't know what I'm passionate about, but I know that I like providing simple solutions to people's problems that think are like people
So
think
good.
think these things are complex, but it's a simple solution. Just gotta text and email your customers, and I know how to do it. So
Right? Dude, I think that's huge right there of just being of value and of service, especially when you're young too. It's like you don't have to answer the like, what's my life passion? It's like I have some inclinations, I have some instincts. Like I was in the same boat when I was in college. I got a marketing degree and it was just like, I figured every business would need marketing, so this is a safe bet. Ended up enjoying
yeah,
it. I started a gym after that, graduating college, and used all. I did my last year. I actually learned some stuff. It was cool, but for the most part of college, it was useless. But um, no, I think that's huge. It's just being of service, being of value, and getting paid for it. Like if that's the season of life, you don't have to over stress and trying to figure out your life's destiny and calling. Just like do what's in front of you,
yeah,
and that'll
100%.
lead to the next thing. Right? Do it
Yeah,
well. Do what's in front of you and do it well.
yeah, 100%. Like the path will illuminate as you go, and like it's not
Yeah.
always clear, but if you just take the next right step, imperfect action always beats inaction. And so
Come
that's
on.
something I tell myself all the time. I've got a $2 bill around here that says that I just wrote all over it: actions over outcomes, just actions over outcomes, actions over outcomes. If you can just like do the
So
work, then
good.
the other stuff will come.
Right? Dude, that's it, man. Just process goals. If you just, that's success. Just get the things done you needed to do today.
Yeah,
Love that, bro. Well, dude, this was awesome. Oh, one thing. So how's that changed your life, man? At 22, like making 20K a month, like how's that impacted things for you? Just like, cause
yeah.
that's a lot of money.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I would say like super transparently. Like I am like a like S corp, so I pay myself like 36K a year. So like I don't pay myself much.
Sure.
And someone was asking me the other day, so I looked, and my costs to actually run my business are about 4 grand a month. But then if I'm like reinvesting heavy into growth, I normally spend about 2 to 3K a month on either ads or courses and stuff. And
Nice.
so it's like I've got what like 15 or so left over most months, and I really have just been like, I enjoy the game and I take out what I take out. And I, my lifestyle, I'm trying not to change my lifestyle. I'm trying not to allow lifestyle inflation to creep up. Like actually
Right.
about a year ago, about a year ago, I sold my car because it was really old, and I got rid of it, and it was not working very well. And my wife has a car that works and is young and it's reliable and it's paid off. And so we both work from home, and so we still have one car. And it's like we've got
Nice.
we've got plenty of money to get another car, or plenty of money to to live extravagantly. But I guess right now we're really just trying
Yeah.
to stay frugal. And also, like, the biggest thing for me is like, I know that when I walk into a grocery store or when I walk into a restaurant, like, I don't feel the same stress that I used to, like, in college and stuff. Um, and
Yeah.
just trying to like that, and that's a very small thing. It's not like I'm like get on a private jet or going on
That's
like
huge, bro.
$20,000 vacation or anything. But that's the thing that's been the most valuable to me,
That's
because it's
huge.
like, like, because like, like, money's always been stressful to me. It's like when I was in high school and college, like, one of the biggest things that my wife and I almost never fought or got into arguments and stuff, but the stuff that we would be, it'd be like, no, we're not going to Chick-fil-A tonight.
Yeah.
That was what it was
Yeah.
about. And there's just like, there's not that anymore. Like, that's not a thing. And so that's nice. That's probably
Bro.
the number one way it's changed my life. But really just reinvesting,
Dude.
and wanted to get to the business goals that I want, 50, 100K. And then I guess it probably will change my life more, but just saving.
Sure. Staying frugal along the way. You can't go wrong there, man. And I think that's huge. I mean, it's not just college kids too. It's like, dude, most of the humanity struggles with that. Like,
One.
stressed out about what they can eat, where they can't go out to eat. And that's
Yeah.
just sucks, dude. I remember I had that feeling of just like when I was newly married and going out to eat and it was just on a credit card and just feel guilty about it. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, I can't even
Yeah.
pay for this. But I love going out to eat. I love the connection time. I love the environment. And it's just those
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
things, really affect your lifestyle. So it's like, it's worth investing into figuring the shit out of your business and making money. And
Yeah.
because, yeah,
Yeah.
it's worth it. It's worth it for sure.
100%.
Cool, man. Well, this is good. This is good. You're on the right track, bro. I'm excited to see where you're at in a decade. It's gonna be
Me
pretty
too.
epic. Hell
I
yeah.
hope.
Well, thanks for chatting, man.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir. Thanks for
stop
having
it.
me.